So the news has been preoccupied with a lot of things: pandemics, elections, protests, monoliths, you name it. But something very important slipped under the radar not too long ago, and I have to point it out because it's kind of big. How big? Well, it's basically the stuff that science fiction is made of. Let me explain. A major discovery was made at the end of September this year regarding time travel. A bunch of brainiacs in Australia solved a logical paradox known as the grandfather paradox. The grandfather paradox marks where Einstein's theory of relativity and classical dynamics start beefing. Einstein's theory of relativity states using a time loop, you can go back in time and kill your abuelito. That's where classical dynamics steps in and says, bitch, that's impossible, because if you go back in time and kill your grandfather, you prevent yourself from ever existing. We've all seen Back to the Future, right? You guys want to know something? I've never seen that fucking movie. Using their hardcore math skills, the scientists were able to reconcile Einstein's theory of relativity with classical dynamics, which means they were able to prove that theoretically, time travel is mathematically possible. The scientists used the current pandemic we're living through as a model to see if these two theories could hang together in logical harmony. They basically wrote J.J. Abrams' next movie and imagined a scenario where a time traveler went back in time to prevent patient zero from being infected with the dreaded canola virus. In doing all their math and logic shit, the scientists remarkably found that yes, using Einstein's theory of relativity while keeping classical dynamics in mind, one could theoretically go back in time. Holy shit. It doesn't stop there, folks. Yes, it's amazing to hear time travel could be possible. It's a fucking trip, though, to hear how. Let me quote the real smart people.
In the coronavirus patient zero example, you might try and stop patient zero from becoming infected, but in doing so, you would catch the virus and become patient zero, or someone else would. No matter what you did, the salient events would just recalibrate around you. This would mean that no matter your actions, the pandemic would occur, giving your younger self the motivation to go back and stop it. Try as you might to create a paradox, the events will always adjust themselves to avoid any inconsistency. The range of mathematical processes we discovered showed that time travel with free will is logically possible in our universe without any paradox.
So these motherfuckers basically discovered that the Twilight Zone is real life. Did you hear that, bitch? Oh my god. You can go back in time, but you can't change shit. You can go back in time and kill your grandpa, and you'll still somehow come out screaming and covered in goo. You can go back and save Patient Zero, only to become Patient Zero yourself. You can go back in time and kill Hitler and still have a genocidal maniac helm Germany in the 1930s and kill millions of people. You could go back in time and slash the Enola Gay's tires and we would still drop bombs on Japan. You can go back and poof yourself right next to Kennedy in his convertible and get that motherfucker to duck, and some guy will still hop out of the grassy knoll in 360 no-scope. You can go back and do a full sweep of Iraq, go to Bush and say, bro, there's no WMDs, and we would still invade Iraq. You can go back and give the writers of Game of Thrones another season, and they'll still have a rushed ending. You can go back in time and tell Nate Robinson, no, bro, don't take the fight, and he'd still get knocked the fuck out.